guys.
We just want a piece of the pie, so we pack our bags and run.
Good evening.
Said we pack our bags and run.
How are you guys? I hope you're well.
We're gonna take our time. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. Our time to fly. They'll see we're there all night. It will come as no surprise. We'll climb the rock most high. It's time for new chapters to fill the pages of love, life, and laughter. I pack my bag, look ahead and see the light, and I'm ready to claim my dreams, and I'm ready to take the flight. And I decided in my heart, I feel a little fear. I'm racing towards my destiny. I gotta keep my conscience clear. Look to the sky, got a star I should be standing on. It's my turn, and I'm ready to take the world. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna rule the world. Rule the world.
Oh, you guys are still here with me. Excellent.
We're gonna take our time.
Excellent, excellent.
We're gonna rule the world.
So I hope you guys are all right wherever you are.
We're gonna take our time. We're gonna rule the world. Yeah, it's our time. Our time to fly. It's our time to fly.
Is it your time to fly? Or is it your time to shine?
Let's make a change. Get us through. No one we gon' rule the world. Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's your girl AniYa A, and I'm live here with another great edition of our post TV show, our post show, where we like to share information that really empowers you, that really educates you, and really positively entertains you. So if this is your first time, tuning in, it's your girl AniYa A live here on YouTube for our post show commentaries. And I'm so excited because, as you know, it's like day 3 of YouTube allowing this to happen. So big shouts out to YouTube, who cares about the people like myself, your girl AniYa A. And just to let you know, it's been a super long day, but we don't stop, we don't quit, because we have so much to do, right? And so with that being said, I wanted to come on here tonight because, as you know, every night I do this to inform you on what's going on in Facebook land as well as in IG land. And I do this wrap up to give YouTube a chance to follow up with us and possibly join us. Like, it's so funny because I can't tell who's watching presently, but there's people on watching, right? And I see the numbers, and afterwards there's all sorts of analytics on YouTube, which is so super cool. However, it's not the same format as Facebook or IG, because the people that are watching typically on Facebook and IG are already friends, or they're able to join because they're on my public platform or profile, what have you, right? But anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about what we discussed earlier, which was super duper important to the community and to the race of our Black people who really have been in a disadvantage. Now, if you know anything about me, and if you know anything about my co-host, Mr. Dion Powell, you'll know that we constantly go back and forth about this topic. I play the devil's advocate just a little bit when I share that we have issues like generational curses that plague our Black community when it comes to generational wealth, as well as infrastructure, buying property, buying land, building up real businesses, not just these online businesses or these, fly-by-night corporations or what have you, but like real sustainable and lifelong companies. And the reason why I share that is because growing up, I really got a chance to be in several different worlds and see how things operate. And then as I got a little bit older, I ran into a brother by the name of Christopher Everett, and he creates documentaries. And I was friends with him, still am friends with him on Facebook, when I got to see something I never seen before, and that was the story of the Black Wall Street, Wilmington on fire, and just all these other real serious crises that occurred in the Black community in the early 1900s. I already knew about slavery, right? Who didn't know about slavery? I already knew about all the injustices, Dr. King, Malcolm X, all these great people that fought for our freedom. But what I didn't know is how rich some of our people were. So this is why I do what I do, because there's a lot of people out there like myself who have never actually learned anything about Black history when it comes to financial history, as well as wealth that our community had acquired. But also there's the generation of, the young people that grew up listening to hip hop or R&B, that our heads are in the clouds. And even though we're a little bit older than this present generation, our heads are still not filled with great information. So the more I learn is the more I give you guys back, because I find it imperative to share this information. Moving along. And also, I wanted to say, for the people like me who also are Caribbean American or first generation American that have no damn clue as to what the Black people actually went through, this is serious. This, my friends, is serious. And I say this often, but I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. The Black community that endured all the crap that they've been through, they deserve apologies. They deserve land. They deserve monies and riches, but they also need to learn how to save, how to grow their money, and how to become successful in many avenues. Because what is, a lot of time our young people or even the adults in the Black community do not know the best ways to save their money as well grow their money, because they never were taught the financial system and how to prepare, especially for certain times like this. So with that being said, I wanted to share a couple of words with you, because the person that I watched today and that really blew my mind was somebody that I watched her documentary, or I guess it's a short little clip on the life of this beautiful woman who was a banker, who was a historian, who was an activist, and who literally was the first African-American woman CEO of a bank in the early 1900s. And she was born in the 1800s. And I mean, this story blew me away. I already had the ideal and the desire to do my topic tonight for the show. What do you own? Again, what do you own financially? Do you own any property? Do you want to own any property? Do you own any stock? Do you want to own any stock? Do you own any vacant land? Half the time, my community is going to say no, because again, our minds are not on that. But I'm here to say that I own certain things, and I want our people to own certain things as well. You don't have to be super rich to have property. You don't have to be super rich to be an investor. You don't even have to be super rich to own stock. These are all myths, and you can start today, especially during this pandemic, and since you're not spending a whole lot of money. So let's read and talk about this beautiful woman, and you can actually find her story right here on YouTube. So once you're done with me, click over to Carry On, The Life and the Legacy of Maggie Lena Walker. And before I get into it any further, I want to read this quote by her in 1909. The elevation of woman to her proper and rightful place has been the slowest work of the centuries. Maggie Lena Walker, 1909. And friends and family, let me just share this, because it's already 10 minutes in. We have to learn who our people were, our ancestors who fought for our rights to vote, to read, to learn, to save, to be rich, to be powerful. The list goes on. It's so intriguing to me, and just mind-boggling as well, to see that white America constantly has their people in all their books. And I say their because it seems like history books, as well as anything meaningful in this damn country, revolves around white America. And it bothers me, because every time a Black person has tried to do great things in this society, it's often pushed aside, not acknowledged, or in many cases, the people are thrown out into the wolves, killed because of, liars like the woman who lied on Emmett Till, for example, the white woman who said Emmett Till raped her or winked at her or touched her ass or what have you in an elevator. The boy was like 12, right? But that caused a major riot, that caused lynchings. But has white America really seen what they've done to the Black people? Have they understood it? And furthermore, where's the apology? Where is the part that there is remorse as well as there is I guess reciprocation, there's a love given, there's support, real support. I'm not talking about a damn voucher for housing or even food stamps or things like that. Like, no, there needs to be a lot more done because a lot more done was done to the people. You understand? And so with that being said, it just boggles my mind. And now that I have extra time to literally think about certain things, I'm also able to disseminate certain informations to the people. And my deepest desire actually is this. I pray that during this time of this pandemic and this craziness, that leaders stand up and really become leaders. And they also follow up with the school systems and the people that are in power to make a difference when it comes to our historical figures. I'm not just talking about Dr. King, in Black History Month, right? I'm talking about these bankers. I'm talking about this Maggie Lena Walker. I'm talking about the Madam C.J. Walkers, who also, which is interesting to me, they have the same last name. It's really interesting to me because not only was Madam C.J. Walker, the first African-American woman millionaire of her time, but she was more than that. She was not just a millionaire. She was not just somebody that created products to fix Black women's hair and whatnot. She was a motivational speaker. She was a philanthropist, and she was an investor beyond other things. And it just makes me really sad that her story is just not coming out. Thank God she has a great granddaughter, AniYa, I want to say Barrier, who has been able to take her story, turn it into a novel, and also create this Netflix, documentary adaptation of her life. Interestingly enough, I got to listen to Miss AniYa Barrier on her platform on Facebook. And one thing that struck me, which is going to actually lead to my next point. Hopefully I'll be off of this live very soon. And even if I'm not, what else are you guys doing? You're not going to work tomorrow. Duh. Okay. So one thing that struck me and that she said, which really resonated in my spirit, pissed me off, of course, but let's be realistic, okay, about this. You guys are going to know exactly what I mean. So one of the things that occurred when they were filming this, documentary about Madam C.J. Walker, one of the parts that was not very truthful was the fact that they said, and I mean they, the directors and I guess the producers that happen to be like, partially white or half white team or whatever, they said that Madam C.J. Walker had white investors, and that wasn't even true. Why is it that the white man always has to win the day? Why is it that Black people can't just stand on their own damn 2 feet and make something happen? Granted, if it were the truth, your girl AniYa A would not be upset. But I want you white people to live your truths. When you do great things, we should acknowledge, obviously. When we as Black people do great things, you should acknowledge, but half of the time you don't, because you got Becky and Karen calling the police on us every 5 minutes, But I want you guys to be aware of something. You don't have to be the hero. You don't have to be Jesus in every damn depiction of a Black story. Like, enough is enough, right? But why is it that all of a sudden you had to make it known that there was a white person or persons that invested in Madam C.J. Walker's business? For what reason? What reason did you guys have to put that in there? Just let me know. I mean, it bothers me. It really does. And I know you own the media. I know you own everything. But when we try to do certain things, we get the pushback, right? But again, Dion and I, fight about this often because, he says that we should help ourselves. And when we try, the pushback is real. I know 1,000% because I've been there. I've done it for myself, and I know how real it is until a Black man or an African man comes to my rescue half of the time and shares something so damn positive with me, I'm able to move forward. because the white man has let me down. So I'm just letting you know that this really frustrates me and bothers me because I go through this and it's painful, especially when you have the background and the experience. I'm just saying, and this can come out later and people can talk shit later or even try to ban me from doing business, but you can't hurt me anymore. You know why? Because you guys have hurt me so damn much. I'm in a situation now that it's going on 3 years with a bastard lying attorney, right? Giving me false information about something that should have taken 2 days to handle. Here I am about 3 years in, but this is not a personal situation. This is just the truth. Okay, moving along. As I said, excuse me, that was going to get us into this next dynamic and this next subject, which really broke my heart in a billion pieces because, again, this is a story, a real adaptation, a real story of what a Black woman went through, again, many, many years ago. And I feel it very interesting that to this day, we as Black people still have to go through certain things like this. We can't own half of what we desire to own because of the pushback, the negativity, etc. And this story, you can actually go and find it right there on YouTube as well, is a story of the mysterious tycoon and I wish I could just edit that part out. Abolitionist Mary Ellen Pleasant. Oh my God. I heard like all 16 minutes and 47 seconds of this, and I just wanted to crawl up in a ball and die. They actually renamed her. You ready for this? You guys are going to love this, right? Because anytime you're powerful and you're Black, you have to be doing voodoo. They renamed this beautiful woman the Millionaire Voodoo Queen. How does a tycoon and abolitionist end up being a voodoo queen who's left, desolate, impoverished, and has nothing to eat or nothing to call her own after she's built up her whole life, bought properties, bought land, worked her ass off, only to have the white mistress or the white wife of her business partner, a white man, take over all of her assets because the white woman, aka the Becky, literally says that she killed her husband, which was not even close to the truth. But Becky, just for the sake of being white, was able to take over all the assets, take over all the millions of dollars, because even in the early 1900s and late 1800s, this woman had enough wealth and enough money that would have been equivalent to, I believe they said something like $30 million in today's standard. That's a lot of money. And to see that this wife of her former business partner was able to take everything from this woman and leave her desolate and impoverished, how do you expect people like myself who know certain things to be so comfortable and so happy in certain surroundings? Especially with my story. Now, if I've never experienced racism, if I had never experienced a bad look from a white person, or if I had never, been called a nigger, or if I had never, experienced a white pastor basically looking down upon me and allowing other white students to bully me. And then also, if I'm not mistaken, the one damn time this white pastor had to take us out and feed us was when I actually was volunteering with his daughter, and she was eating Taco Bell, and she brought me along and wanted her father to pay for us to eat because I had no idea, number one, we were going to Taco Bell, but number two, here's the funny part. My parents pay my tuition at your damn white private school every month, and I didn't even ask you for a thing. And you have the nerve to turn around and look at your daughter and say, why do I have to pay for her? First of all, you fat, ugly bastard. Like, Christianity and me really don't mix a lot. And a lot of people wonder why. Well, these are some of the reasons why. But I'm not going to go into that whole thing right now. I just wanted to point out three beautiful Black women, one being half white, maybe both being half white. But either way, Madam C.J. Walker, living legend. I mean, she's deceased now. God bless her soul. Miss Mary Ellen Pleasant, I believe that was her name. And of course, our last one, Miss Maggie Lena Walker. These three women really, really have changed my life in the past couple of days. Now that I have extra time to watch and listen to some of these stories, it builds something inside of me, just to let you know, that makes me want to work harder and become the multimillionaire that I was supposed to be and that I will be. But also, it makes me look at society even more strangely, and it makes me want to shake up our people and say, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Because what's happened to us is not fair. And you guys have to take ownership of what you're going through today. Don't let the crap that we're dealing with dictate your future. Just overcome, ride out these waves, and do a lot better. And for the white people out there, a lot of you come from a really bad background. I'm not saying all white people are bad. I'm not even saying that I hate white people, because I don't. That would be so foolish and stupid, right? What I'm saying is, you guys are the descendants of some wicked ass people. And if you guys cared at all, you would just do right by the people that are here on a daily basis, because you know what? You're living off of our backs, our sweat, blood, and tears. And I finally understand some of these, quotes and sayings that I've heard most of my life and I never understood. It's a painful reality to finally be woke. With that being said, I wanted to leave you guys and say good night. Be blessed. And for those that are going to watch, I hope and my desire is that you continue to fight for what you want. And again, like the topic was tonight on the AniYa A show, what is it that you own? Or what is it that you desire to own? If you have any desires to own anything, get off your ass, study, do your research, save your money, find out how to get a loan, fix your credit if need be, and make a difference in your life. And then thank me later. It's your girl, AniYa A, and I'm signing out for now. Have a blessed night, and see you tomorrow night after the AniYa A show, which is on the AniYa A platforms on Facebook, AniYa A period, and AniYa ANI capital YA space A period in parentheses, and then of course on IG ANIYA A143 and FEGMGMT, as well as NVSA NYC. Good night, be blessed, and make a difference today. Love you. Bye.